Hi everyone, my name is Joseph Appiah. I'm a Technical Supervisor at Debt-Free Advice. My job is to support debt advisors to provide high-quality debt advice to clients by checking their cases and giving feedback. This webinar is part of our Mobile Bus initiative in partnership with the Mayor of London. The bus tours across London until the end of February to provide free debt and money advice to everyone in need. Today, the bus is at Tottenham Town Hall in Haringey. You can find the list of stops at debtfreeadvice.com/bus. So, today I'm going to talk to you about debt emergencies. What are those and how do we identify them? An emergency debt tends to happen if we ignore our creditor and don't respond to their communication, perhaps over a period of time. Maybe we haven't read or opened their letters. Maybe we don't take their calls, hoping that they will go away and the problem will disappear. Unfortunately, even if it feels easier to do that, this strategy does not work and usually creates more problems, as our creditors don't forget us. They act while we're ignoring them. They may take us to court or enforce a court order, and so our debts can become emergencies. The best thing we can do is take the control back into our hands, read our letters, understand the problem, contact our creditor and get the help that we need from an expert debt advisor. If we take back our control, our debt is less likely to become an emergency. Here at Debt-Free Advice, we get a lot of people who come to see us when faced with an emergency debt that will impact them badly. So, what I want to do is explain how to identify an emergency debt, what might or might not happen, how to resolve the issue, and to remove the threat of enforcement. Let's look at the most common types of debt emergencies. Where you face an immediate risk of homelessness. This is usually triggered when you are sent a warrant of possession. This usually happens at the end of a long process that the landlord or mortgage lender must follow. You might be facing some form of debt enforcement to recover essential goods. For example, when an enforcement agent, more commonly known as a bailiff, has visited you to take control of the goods and is threatening to remove them for sale. This usually follows a notice of enforcement. There is an immediate risk that your utility supply, gas or electricity, will be disconnected. This might happen when your utility supplier has got a warrant to enter your home and disconnect a supply. Third, there's an immediate risk that you'll be arrested or imprisoned. This might happen when there is an outstanding warrant for your arrest. For example, non-payment of a magistrate's court fine. If you have no money to pay for food or to pay essential bills. If you are faced with a threat of any of these, then you need to seek debt advice quickly. The sooner you do this, then the quicker we can help you stop the action. However, you might consider that enforcement or recovery of other debts is an emergency, depending on your personal circumstances. For example, repossession of a car that you buy through monthly installments, when you are dependent on it to get to work. This might happen if you paid less than a third of the amount due under the agreement. Or loss of broadband service if you work from home and rely on it to do your work. As debt advisors, we understand this, and we take this into account and the impacts that the debt recovery might be having on each person. Everyone doesn't have the same needs or priorities, and sometimes the loss of goods may not be an emergency. If you don't need the car for essential journeys, for example. Our job is to work out what the true emergencies are and how best you can resolve or manage them so that they no longer are an emergency. This will allow you relief from the stress and anxiety they may be causing you. A debt advisor will speak to you before arranging an appointment. They will ask you questions about what your debt emergency is and how it has got to this stage. We want to understand the background and to make sure the creditor is following the correct procedure in enforcing or collecting the debt. To help us do this, please bring any letters or correspondence with you. If you have any other paperwork relating to the action, a tenancy or purchase agreement, for example, bring that with you. The more information we have at the earliest stage, the quicker we can help you to stop the action. If you have a telephone appointment, then reading the letters to us is helpful, or send us a photo so we have them to hand when you are ready to start the call. Sometimes dealing with debt emergencies isn't quick or easy, but all our advisors are fully trained and know how best to advise and support you. We might, for example, make a three-way call with you and the creditor or a bailiff and discuss an arrangement or a breathing space period to stop or delay the action, while we help you to gather the information that we need to resolve the issue. Or we might need your consent to contact the creditor after your appointment so we can advise you on what actions you can take or what options are available to you. The most important thing in all of this is that you speak to us. We will usually advise you to keep in touch with the creditor. Please don't ignore any correspondence. But remember, we won't take any action on your behalf without your prior consent. It's worth considering here what debts would not be considered as emergencies, although they are still important and we can still help you to resolve them. Credit card, store card, and catalogue debts are not emergencies. That's because the action the creditor can take to recover these debts is not as severe as those I've already mentioned. Similarly, debts to friends, family, water debts, mobile phone debts, while important and will impact you to some extent, are not usually considered debt emergencies. So, if you are facing eviction, if you have mortgage, secured loan, or rent arrears, or you're facing imprisonment because you have council tax arrears or a magistrate's court fine, or you're facing disconnection or about to lose essential goods or services because you have gas or electricity arrears, then seek debt advice. Speak to us as soon as possible. You can contact us in the way and at a time that best suits you. So, here are the ways that you can reach us. Go to www.debtfreeadvice.com to find out our face-to-face advice hub locations across London, to video chat, or you can call or WhatsApp us on 0800 808 5700. I hope this webinar has been useful. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.